Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I use my cupping kit, my suction cups for bodywork, when I am in the car. So you do not want to do this, like you don't want to apply these while you're driving, okay? Now it's okay to place them before you begin driving on certain areas of your body. So if you're going to be driving, you don't want to put them on like your lower legs or your feet, just because, you know, if for some reason they fell off, that could be really dangerous because it could get underneath your brake pedal or something like that. So under no circumstances, do not put them on your lower body or anywhere where they might fall off at all. So, but I do actually like to use these a little bit sometimes on my legs, upper legs, like my thighs while I'm driving, and sometimes, you know, like my upper arms or whatever, but you do want to be really careful with that. So, and again, do not put them on while you're driving, or adjust them or whatever. Focus on the road entirely. But also, if you are riding in the car as a passenger, if someone else is riding, this is a good thing to do in the car. So these are great because they're very portable. They don't require any electricity. You don't have to charge them. There's no battery, like they're completely manual. So I got these from Temu. So I don't shop on Temu too often, but when I do, I find stuff like this, and I didn't think these would last that long. I paid like $6 for 6 of these, and I've been using them like at least every other day for the past, I guess, a few months maybe. And they still work just as good as they did when I bought them. So you can get these for very inexpensively. Amazon, they're all over the place these days. There are also cupping kits that you can get, and I used to have one of these years ago, but they have this little tool where you can suck the air out, but those can get a little too intense in my opinion, and they can sometimes cause more harm than good. But I do recommend these because they don't really get too intense. So you can use these anywhere. Like you can even use them on your hand if you're not doing anything. Or if you're just, you know, sitting around watching something or listening to something, whatever. Again, not while you're driving, obviously. But for me, this feels really good on my hand. So cupping therapy, what I'm doing right now is called dry cupping, which is where you're not using oil or anything like that. And you can also do cupping, you know, with massages. Obviously, I use cupping techniques. As a massage therapist myself, I do use cupping techniques sometimes on clients, but mostly I just use the cups on myself. So anyways, with that being said, it's good for pain relief, muscle tension, like it's good for literally everything. I mean, also on a cosmetic level, it can be good for cellulite, it can be great for even like scar tissue, like so many things, arthritis, carpal tunnel, using around the wrist area. So you can use them like all over. So you just kind of experiment with it. Another thing is you can use it on your face. Now, for the facial cupping, I highly recommend using like smaller cups, and you do want to be very careful. I think there are special facial cupping kits, and I'm going to get one of those soon, and I will of course film that doing a treatment. But you can use these on your face a little. I'm a very experienced person when it comes to this, so that's why I feel like it's okay for me. I would highly recommend not doing this if you're a beginner, if you've never done cupping before, but you can absolutely use it on your face. So I did a facial treatment the other day with these, and I still have a tiny bit of a bruise on my forehead. These can and will leave bruises if you leave them for an extended period of time, depending on where it's at and depending on how much toxicity is in the area, because the more like inflamed that area is, like generally speaking, the more blood will come to the surface, and the more of a bruise you will tend to have. Also, certain areas of the body are more prone to that. So anyways, I did one on my forehead the other day, and I left it on a little bit too long, and it did cause some bruising. So I know it looks funny, but honestly, it's really great for, like, you know, an alternative facelift, so to speak. It really helps to with fine lines. It helps to make your skin more supple and just like tighter, the elasticity. it can help with so many things. So if you have really sensitive skin, I really wouldn't recommend this. It just depends on you. But also your cheeks, you want to be careful around the cheek area because like it can kind of hurt. So when you pull on that masseter muscle right there, the higher up the better. So I find that like up here, but not too close to the eye because that hurts really bad. And not really on the temple either, but you kind of have to experiment with that. So because it should feel like you should feel something like a little bit of pressure, but you should not feel pain or anything like bad going on. So you can use it a little bit there, and you can even do like your chin. So anyways, and don't go too far under the chin because then you start getting closer to your throat and that hurts. So don't do that. That's probably the most painful, I think. But yeah, you can just kind of use it all over. And then the little ones, obviously, you can get more around the face as a whole. I also have found that this really helps like sinus inflammation sometimes. Now, I'm not a doctor by any means. Don't take this as any medical advice. But the smaller ones, again, I would recommend. But for sinuses, using these on the face, I feel like can be really helpful. But again, you want to avoid your eyes. Obviously, avoid anything that feels really uncomfortable or pain or anything that feels like it's pulling. Avoid your temples. Avoid your, certain areas that are going to be extra sensitive. So, but you can get right in certain areas and kind of just like let it sit gently too. And that can kind of help pull inflammation out of your sinuses. So I know this looks really funny, obviously, but anyways, I have found that to be very, very helpful, and I hope that some others will find it helpful as well. Not just for your sinuses, but for cosmetically and for pain relief, etc. So again, do not apply these while you're driving. Be really careful if you use these in the car on the road, preferably while you're not driving. But if you really need some pain relief and you are on an extended trip, sometimes it can really help. Like you can even put them on the back of your neck. So that really helps me a lot when I start getting like back pain. And so with that being said, I just put mine in a Tupperware container, and I take them on the road. So you can put these in a little bag or whatever, and it's just a great thing to have on you that you can literally use like pretty much anytime, anywhere. If you work at a desk, these would be great for you because you can use them all over yourself while you're working. If you're typing and stuff, probably not your arms and hands, but your legs. It's great for circulation. It's great for just overall well-being, helps pull out toxins. Cupping is so great, and I don't know why I went so many years without really doing any cupping and without really practicing with cups either. And so I just recently kind of got back into it, and I am just completely sold. But anyways, I just wanted to give a quick example of how you can utilize these when you're out and about, not necessarily just in the car, but literally anytime, anywhere. So, and don't worry about what people think. They're not trying to be healthy like you. So anyways, there they are. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment or send me an email or whatever. I will be doing another video soon, probably in the bathroom, to give you guys a better kind of like a better demo on like doing a little bit of a treatment. So in the car it's kind of hard, but I had to pull over and check some emails, so I thought I would do a quick video on that. And with that being said, I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.